Hey, what's up, YouTube? Naztca back again with a deck profile. This is for my Vayu Tubro Deck for the March 2012 ban list. Pretty much I made it to replace my TG stun deck, and reason why is because my TG drain stun was like hit pretty bad, especially with Striker going down to 1 and Reborn Tenku down to 2, along with Trishula being banned, and that really hurt the deck. EM1 is not as effective. I can't do Trishula plays, and like. Yeah, it's just not the same without Trishula. Tengu at 2 doesn't really hurt it, but, you know, the fact that Striker is gone, that's the big issue for me. So I rebuilt my Vayu Turbo, and yeah, it's still effective. I was like, hey, I'm gonna put this back together, just because of the fact that if it does get hit by the wind-up loop, if I happen to have key cards that I need in the graveyard, I'll be fine, just because I can respond back to it, like, oh, if you dump it, you're doing me a favor, you know? My monsters are gonna go off anyway. I'm gonna remove them from play, special summon other monsters, and just beat down yours, you know? So that's pretty much my stuff at the moment, but, okay, let's get started with our monsters. I run 3 Vayu, wouldn't be the deck without him. 3 Sirocco. These 2 are the key cards. Remove this and this from play, get an Arm Wing. But Vayu also has synergy with Arm Wings, Armor Masters. Just because you can remove those cards from play to bring out other stuff, like Vayu and Arm Wing make an Armor Master and Vayu make a Silver Win, which is a 28 beater, and he's a blessing. 2 Gruffer, you can special summon Gruffer by dumping a Sirocco or other cards that I'm about to lay out soon. But he's just there for the quick dump. He's a 1700 monster. He's okay. He's okay size, you know. But you know, you summon him, I get the discard. I get to send twice, which is really good. 2 Armageddon Knight, same reason. I get to send the monster to the graveyard. I used to run Necro Gardenas, but I'm not sure if I want to do that anymore. And 2 Card Trooper, same reason. This lets me mill monsters to my graveyard, and they get pretty big. They become 1900 beaters, and they can also, if they get destroyed, I get to draw a card, which is really nice. 1 Zephyros for all those plays, and I'll talk about those in a bit. 1 Gale, Gores, Sangan, Plague Spreader, and 1 Dark Arm Dragon. Whoa. Zephyros is here. It's just because if he's in the grave, he gives me graveyard control, you know? If I have 4 in the graveyard, I can bounce something out, special summon him, and summon Dark Arm Dragon. I can even reuse my Gores if, like, the situation pushes for it, you know? Like, I'm gonna reuse my Gores. Bounce Gores, get out Zephyros. And then Synchro or something, you know? Same thing with... Well, not with Plague, but, yeah, he opens up Plague. Like, if I want to reuse Armageddon Knight also, or Gruffer. Same thing with Dark Arm Dragon. If I want to use Dark Arm Dragon, same thing. But he's there for the special summons. These 2, these whole have synergy. That's just me. Plague Spreader, same reason. It gives me access to level 5, 6s, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's monsters for now. I'm not sure if I explained myself very well, but we shall see. So let's get on to spells. Cha-cha. Let's get this cleaned up. Okay. 1 Dark Hole. Dark Hole, pretty much, it destroys everything. That's what it's there for. Roto, this lets me search out my Dark Gruffers along with my Armageddon Knights. 1 Allure of Darkness. This pretty much lets me... Well, you guys all know what this does. Draw power, basically. 1 Monster Reborn. This lets me pull monsters from my grave or my opponent's. Bring them out. 3 Duality. For consistency, but also for setting up plays. People say I shouldn't play this, and that slows me down, but I think it's really nice to have. 2 MST. Small little distraction if I want to hit a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror that's in my way, or a bunch of other things. You know, just cards that I can get game. You know, if I have a warning in the graveyard, I can hit that first and then remove special summon. You know, and 1 Heavy Storm. Wide Destruction, and also one Burial from a different dimension. Burial I really like. I wish I had two of these, this would be awesome, but I really like it just because I can reuse my Vayus and my Sorokos, or maybe like my Arm Wings, you know, and I can bring out other monsters. But that's basically the spell lineup. Pretty basic. This is a pretty basic Vayu Tubro deck. Until I tweak it. It has this theory of throwing in tour guides, but we'll see about that when the Epic Battle Pack comes out. But yeah, basic 3 Icarus attacks. Play 3 Icarus attacks just because I play a lot of Winged Beasts, I get to destroy stuff in the field, I can set a Vayu, blow it up later. Summon a Soroko, if they want a Bottomless or something, I can blow it up again also. And then blow up 2 things on their side. One Solemn Judgment. Negates everything, the Old Man with the Beard. Solemn Warning, same thing. The Old Man with the Beard, that negates almost every single summon. And he has 2 little angels this time. They're also in this art, in the back. 2-dimensional Prison, monster removal, protects my monsters, doesn't protect theirs. 2 bottomless trap holes, same thing, holes for monsters to fall into. And 1 return from a different dimension. This card is awesome. Mainly just because I can special summon as many remove from play monsters I have onto the field as I can. But I pay half my life points. But there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if I want to push for a game really bad, bam, activate this, get all these monsters that I removed, like Arm Wings, Sorokos, and Vayus, if I have room, you know, and just attack, cha-cha-cha-cha. But yeah, that's pretty much trap lineup basics. And let's get started on the extra deck. And then I can also get started on the petition against Konami. I don't think it's against them, but I'm not sure to say it. Okay, 1 Decisive Armor. Really good. 3300 meter, blows up light monsters, blows up any deck that runs light cards. Mainly just because of the fact, like, he's not as effective now that, like, people had him in before just because of agents, you know? But now, like, he serves a bigger purpose. He's a beater. I mean, there's new dragon cards coming out called Hieroglyph Dragons, and those guys are freaking crazy. They go off, and it's like amazing. It's a really good deck. You guys should check that out. Hieroglyph. I'll put a link at the bottom. 1 Gaia Knight, really good beater. 1 TG Hyper Librarian. I don't have to have my opponent synchro for it. I can do it myself. He's still really good, even though that a bunch of stuff got hit and the plants are gone. Black Rose Dragon blows up stuff. Cataster blows up stuff for me that aren't dark monsters that I cannot get over. For example, Scrap Dragon. 1 Bryonic. 1 Stardust. And 2 Utopia. I play these guys just because they're really great. They can negate attacks and their light monsters. But I'll also get in onto that later when I get into my side deck. 3 Arm Wing. The deck wouldn't be the Vayu Tubro without them. 2 Armor Master. And also 1 Silver one. I play the 3-2-1 ratio just because I make these the most. And I go into these, and then I go into the Silver one, basically. But that's pretty much extra deck. You're gonna be making these a lot if you use this, and then probably Armor Master second, and then Silver one the last. But you can go into this pretty fast if you want. He's a great card. He's a 2800 beater, and he's really awesome, you know. And that's pretty much my side deck. So let's get on to. Oh, this is my extra deck. Whoops. So let's get on to my side deck. Whoop-pow. Okay, 2 Chaos Sorcerers. These guys pretty much explain the T-Utopia. 2 Chaos Sorcerers, 3 Thunder Kings, really great card. This removes stuff from this gives me an answer to things that I cannot destroy or things that cannot be destroyed. Like, oh, it's in main. It's like, oh, I can't kill it, I'll just remove it from play. Thunder King negates the sum of the monsters. Light doesn't let you add cards to your hand, and yeah, it should be to negate, like I said. Raikou, really good card. He pops and destroys, and also allows me to mill, which is also really good, because he'll be sending monsters to my graveyard, and I can remove those from play to Synchro Summon. 2 GD Crow serve the same purpose, do the really good removal, and You know, they're there for decks that are like that play in, like, for example, Inzektor, or like a Chaos deck. You know, like, oh, they want to try to, they declare targets. I can remove one of those targets from play, and then they can't do anything about it. It hits. I can hit Hornets with it. I can hit Hunters. I can hit just things they would use. Things they would try to bring out. You know. I play 2 Kaiku. Kaiku's there just because he's a really good monster. I can put him in if I play against Inzektor. The same reason I play Crows, basically. Except he's a more aggressive and in-your-face kind of guy. 2 Chain Disappearance. It lets me hit smaller monsters. It won't be hitting Earth anymore, for sure, but it'll be hitting Shine Balls, Inzektor Dragonflies, all that good stuff. Anything that plays smaller monsters. Frogs. I don't know. 1 Book of Moon. Really, really good. Flips stuff face down for me so I can just kill it. If I miraculously get out an Arm Wing, the traditional way, then it'd be godlike. And 1 Book of Moon, which I possibly may swap out for a Mind Control. And the reason I'm doing that is because I think I have enough destruction. The Mind Controls are there just to steal people's monsters, and so I can either synchro or overlay with it. And I think that might be a little more effective. But yeah, just tell me what you guys think, like what your opinions are, and what you think I might possibly try to change in the deck. I kind of had an idea to put in tour guides, but I'm probably not going to do that until the reprints happen for it, and I can really capitalize on that. But yeah, you know, just summon tour guide, make it Zen mains, and then just use that Zen mains, just bunker, and just give me a little time, you know, so I can just ship all my stuff to the graveyard and then bring it all out at once when I know it's clear and safe. But, oh, and I can also go for Quick Levier Dragons, just to bring back my remove from play monsters, and then reuse them again. But, getting off topic, let's get on to the... Okay, let's see... Gonna get on to the... pretty much a petition that they have for... A petition that's out, I guess it's against Konami, and I guess it's kind of a boycott, but basically it's like, oh, don't buy their products, you're basically, don't buy their products, or like, not don't, but like, if we do continue to buy products and attend tournaments and play the game, we're basically letting them continue with how they treat us, you know, because they are pretty much, they're basically taking our money, I would say. Because we spend all this money on all these cards, and yet, like, once the next set comes out, they ban all the stuff from the last set, and then we can't use it anymore. And then you basically have to get everything from the new set and then use that. Or like, oh, this will be good for like a couple of months, and then after that it'll expire, you know? And I think that really sucks. Just because, like, they expect us to spend so much money on... like, on a card game, you know? Like, once you get down to it, it's cardboard and everything. But I really wish they wouldn't do that. And like with all the rarity bumps too. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a fun game. But not when your hand gets pretty much dismantled the first turn. Like, oh, you drew 6. Like, basically, you drew 6 cards for no reason. Like, oh, you drew them. And then if you ask them, do you have the hand loot? And if they say yes, you just dump all your cards to the graveyard. And like the fact that the only thing that you can counter it with is Max C or Effect Veiler, and Max C is going for like $100 right now or something. I sold one at the last regionals I went to for like $50. But the fact that Max C is going for like 100 each, Effect Veiler is getting reprinted. That's cool. Like, reprints are always welcome. I think they're great. Tour Guide's getting reprinted about time. Pretty good. I think that's great. That's healthy. But the fact that like the 3 dominant decks right now are, I believe, Dino Rabbit, Inzektor, and Windup. I don't have a problem with Dino Rabbit or Inzektor, just because it's not as bad. Those decks aren't as bad as people think they are, but the whole Windup loop is just, that's just straight up annoying, in my opinion. I don't think I'd want to deal with that. But, pretty much, just want to get into that, but, basically, you know, just, like, the fact that we give them, that we buy their product, and then, like, they jack, like, I know it's kind of our fault that we jack up our own prices, because we put a label on the card, but that's just because of the rarity of it, you know? like, oh, why is this so hard to get? Rescue Rabbit is a rare in Japan, and yet here it is a secret, and it's just so hard to get. And I really wish they wouldn't do that, And, instead of having to get rid of older product to bring out new sets, they should balance the game more, and also not, like, just loops in general I think are really bad for this game, because it doesn't make it fun, because if you sit there and you watch some guy shuffle his deck for like a minute, 2 minutes, or even longer, and they're like, hey, I won, and it's like, oh, that's great, hey, you could have told me that a little sooner, but, like, the fact that they should balance the game, add more consistency, just so that older product is still usable, and then their newer product can sell itself. Like, I know when Machina Gadget, when the Machina Force deck first came out, everyone was playing that because it was like, oh, this is really cool, Same thing with Agents. It was like, oh, fairies. I'm gonna jump on that just because they have 3 Dark Armed Dragons. Like, I knew about Agents before they first came out, like, because I had the DS game and I was playing with it. And I was like, hey, this deck has like 3 Dark Armed Dragons. I'm gonna try making this because I thought it was really cool. But then I was playing with my friend and I was like, dude, I keep making shine balls for no reason. Like, we were just playing with each other, and we just made shine balls for no reason. Just to white elephants gift them or something, or like pop it with a scrap dragon. And then, like, when Exceeds first came out, they just blew up. I can say this. I can say this just because that happened to Tour Guide of the Underworld, and like that card wasn't really worth much. It was just something nice to look at before, Everyone thought like, oh, it just brings out Sengen. You can't do anything with it after that, and it's like, oh, that's nice. But once Exceeds came out and you can overlay with it, that's when things got crazy. Cards started bumping up in price. I know Tour Guide shot up a lot. I think I found a playset on eBay for like, I think the guy wanted $340 for it, I believe, and that's just ridiculous. It's 3 cards. I'm not gonna pay $340 for that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go buy a PS3 and play me some Marvel, Street Fighter. I'm gonna buy myself a laptop. Why would I want to spend $300 on 3 cards? That can get me like boxes. That can get me boxes of cards. And I'm probably not even gonna pull that card that I want. Like that one card that you're selling. My chances are very low of pulling it, even if I do buy 3 boxes. But this is just me ranting. Yeah, I guess it's a rant. It's just me ranting. I'm just telling you guys. I signed the petition, but it's just because I agree with what's on it. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying the game sucks, or I'm not bitching. It's just they shouldn't phase out older product. They should be able to have their product sell itself. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying to push sales, but I just think they're doing it the wrong way. And I don't know, I just wish they would combine the OCG and TCG. That way we don't have to go through all this. Like, like with what I said earlier, Rabbit is a rare in Japan. If they printed it as a rare here, I don't think we'd have much of a problem with it. Like, it's okay that Tour Guide is a secret rare and that it's like an exclusive. But the fact that it got printed here as a secret, and they made it equally as difficult to get as a Tour Guide, is what bothers me, And it's like, it's a fun deck. It's really cool. Like, what if the little kids want to build Rabbit decks and they can't afford it? Their parents aren't going to buy it for them, Like, their parents are just going to tell them, like, oh, I'm not going to shovel out $300-400, but, some people can afford it, some can't, but it'd be nice for the people who can't afford it, because it's just hard. It's just hard to get that stuff, And it's just my opinion. I personally have a little issue with it, because it's like, I don't want to have to shovel out like a lot, like all this money for cards that are for something that's gonna get banned the next format, Like, I got one of my friends a playset of Tengus, and then bam, it got hit, and I was like, so sad. Same thing with the Glow Bulb. That got hit. I got that for a friend, and then that got hit. So his deck's dead. Unfortunately, he wasn't playing any Spam Plant Synchro. He was playing some random agent deck that had a Glow Bulb in it, and he can make Odin somehow. But that's just my opinion on how I feel about it. I'm probably gonna post the link for the petition down below, and also be sure to check out my eBay store below, and also sub on top. But yeah, peace guys, take care.